One of the best tips I can give to anybody in fantasy football is never listen to or trust to projections from whatever site you're using, whether it's Yahoo, Sleeper, ESPN. Some are more likely to be correct than others, but really a lot of them are just off like a crazy amount all the time. And to go ahead and look at some of the craziest ones that I've seen anywhere, we're taking a look at Yahoo right here. I have a league here on Yahoo Fantasy. And the number one, first off, we're going to look at, keep scrolling down, keep scrolling down, keep scrolling down. Jared Goff is down here next to Geno Smith and JJ McCarthy. Sure, I know usually fantasy guys don't like non-rushing quarterbacks. I get it. But why is he doing down here? You're telling me right up here, Joe Flacco, is he going to run a lot more? Are you going to tell me Matt Stafford is going to be running way more? Why would Jared Goff possibly be this low? His wide receiver is going in the first round. His catching running back is going in the first round. He's got Jameson Williams going in like the 6th round or something like that. Sam Laporta's tight end's going in like the 8th. So he's going to be passing and supposedly getting all these points to all of his wide receivers, but somehow he's behind CJ Stroud. Somehow he's behind Matt Stafford and Dak Prescott. He can show you how off these projections are. This is Friday morning, so with the Thursday night game, the first regular season game already played, Dak here on Yahoo is projected for 19.11 points. He got like 7 or something, or maybe it was 10. I can't remember exactly where it settled out, but it shows you how off they are. Why would Dak be up here? He doesn't run. Tua up here barely runs at all. Really, this kind of just shows you a very consistent quarterback where 18 points, you got to move him up, man. You got to move him up at least up into this range around Herbert. And I mean, second year, Drake May could do real good this year, but really, not for sure or anything like that. So that's the very first one we took a look at, like where I just think the projection or where they have them at on the list at minimum relative to other people is just super far off. And if you enjoy fantasy football content, just make sure you go ahead and subscribe up. I'm just some new guy, got almost no subscribers. So help a brother out, hit that subscribe button if you enjoy the video at all. Now, the next we're going to jump into is wide receivers here. The very first one we're going to take a look at is not very far down here. So right underneath like Brian Thomas Jr., Mike Evans, Malik Neighbors, and above Amon-Ra St. Brown is Jacoby Myers. Like, what is going on here? I get it. He's the only guy there that's like solidified. They do have Brock Bowers, but they got the rookie running back that they're going to feed. They got Geno Smith. I mean, is he superstar, all-star? Not the worst quarterback in the world. He's good enough to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. But how is Jacoby Myers going to be ahead of Amon-Ra St. Brown in a division game that they hate each other against Green Bay? So they're going to be scoring points here. I promise you that. How is this even possible? I don't really know. But even if you look down further, I would rather this game right here, crazy shootout, Cleveland against Cincinnati with Joe Flacco himself. I'd probably rather have Judy. Xavier Worthy, I'd much rather have in my lineup than Jacoby Myers, with him being the only receiver for Kansas City. And I mean, Tyrell McMillan, maybe right around. I'd rather probably have Ted, to be perfectly honest. There's so many people under him I would much rather have and move up to have. So that's why these projections, and they put them real close so they can just say, oh, we weren't that wrong. We're only a half-point difference. But this is essentially how they're thinking things are going to pan out, and kind of to show you how bad their projections really are. A.J. Brown right here had like 1 point. George Pickens right here had like 5 points last night. Devontae Smith had like 3. And this is the top 25 projected wide receivers. And that's how far they were off in just the one singular first game here for this season. Moving over further on the wide receivers, we're going to take a Terry McLaurin. Is this real life? It's not off by much. Terry McLaurin is projected for less than old, fat, tight end man Deebo Samuel. The guy that they just gave, what they just give him, like 30 or 40 million a year or whatever in his extension. I forget exactly what it was. Or 1 year left on his contract, getting paid 14 million a year, Deebo Samuel. You know who else is getting paid like 14 million a year? Like Darius Slayton. Like maybe Wan'Dale Robinson, those for the Giants are right around the same place. Like nobody's. I think Josh Palmer got 12 million. It's nothing. They got him just as a complimentary guy who can do a lot of gadgety plays. He's gonna have 5 catches for 7 yards because they're gonna throw him little screen passes and stuff. Terry McLaurin is the guy there, and on Yahoo he's projected for less than Deebo Samuel. Absolute lunacy. Move DK Metcalf down here. Move Garrett Wilson down underneath Terry McLaurin. For sure. And there could be even other ones. I would have moved Terry McLaurin up ahead of Devontae Smith, who was on the other page, and some other people like that. And that, honestly, before even the other game had played. So this is another shocking one there. Terry McLaurin. Next up right here, Jameson Williams right here. How is he projected this low? He's down underneath Cooper Kupp. I don't really get it. Under rookies who don't even know what their role is going to be or how much they're going to play. Guys coming off torn ACLs. I don't hate Steph Diggs, but what is going on there? Chris Olave, does he even have a quarterback? I think they're just going to snap the ball to, the water boy, and then they're going to have to figure it out there in New Orleans. So how is this? Even DK Metcalf, I'd rather. I'm way off DK Metcalf, that's for sure. I'm off anybody that's in an Arthur Smith offense. So Jameson Williams, how is this guy so much further down than everybody else? 11 points here, and this is full PPR projections. This is like minimum floor worst case scenario for JMO, I'm going to be honest. So what is that? 5 catches, 60 yards. Andy scores no touchdowns or something like that. That's like guaranteed. It's absolutely guaranteed, essentially. And there's a lot more over here too that now that I'm looking at it a little bit more. How is Rashid Shaheed up here with what? None of this makes any sense at all. I really have just no idea how they get these projections sometimes. But we're going to go ahead and move over to where a lot of them are at. And that is over here on the running back one. I have a lot here that I disagree with. Bucky Irving up here as one of the most toppest projected. I mean, this is supposed to be a high game, but you got Bijan Robinson in the same game. He's going to do worse than Bucky Irving. Okay, we'll see what happens with that one. Really, I would move Bucky down here. Jahmyr Gibbs is way down here. What is going on? I don't really know how. I feel like they just throw darts at the board, and they're just like, I don't know, we'll kind of figure it out. Hopefully that's close. Speaking of Bucky being here and someone being behind him that I would take ahead of him, even though it might be sort of a shootout game, Derrick Henry, the guy that's guaranteed a touchdown every single week, no matter what happens, essentially, 6'3", 250-pound running back. I would not be surprised. He probably gets 2 touchdowns every other week, it seems. So I don't know how even Derrick Henry's down here. I know it's PPR. That's what these projections are at. But still, it does not make sense why Derrick Henry would be back here behind Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor. I mean, is Christian McCaffrey even going to play? This one needs to be updated or whatever. But Derrick Henry being down here next to Alvin Kamara and these guys, the rookie, who knows how much he's going to make, Kyron. I do not agree with that one right there. And right here, it's got the little red mark because that means he's on my team. And that's why the next one up here is Tony Pollard. But it's not what you expect. I'm not no homer who just says because they're on my team. How is Tony Pollard ahead of James Cook? How is Tony Pollard going to be ahead of, like Chuba, Kenneth Walker? Hard to say. Really, the only thing on Kenneth Walker is he going to get hurt? James Conner, he's always getting the volume. And I know they don't got a lot of other people there. This defense is going against Denver. They're going against Denver. Sure, Pollard's going to get all the work, but they got a rookie quarterback who even knows how that. I don't know how you could project him for 15 points when ahead of these guys down here, when you don't even know what's going to happen there with a crazy good defense going against a rookie quarterback. I would drop him down, even though he is on my team and I am starting him because I need to. But I got to be honest with you. I think this is projected above these other guys a little bit high. There could be some other people down here. Maybe you would drop even further, such as the next on the list, Breece Hall. This guy is not going to be playing as much as a lot of people think he is. He is not the workhorse. He is not going to be getting all the touches. And that's what the coaches literally said. They've been saying it. He's going to be splitting carries and splitting touches. So how is Breece Hall ahead of Chuba? Like, how is Breece Hall ahead of, I don't know, I guess maybe you could slide him down here with these rookies, not knowing exactly how it would go. But really, Omarion Hampton probably, I'd say, it'd have to be ahead of him with Najee Harris there being, eyeless. He's being a pirate there. So that one's a little bit tough. We'll move over to the next one here. And actually, I kind of want to go back to the other one because if you didn't see him, down at the bottom here, RJ Harvey, really, he needs to be dropped back a little bit. Not due to, lack of ability, not due to lack of talent, but because of who is behind him and the more guaranteedness of what's going on there. Isaiah Pacheco should be getting a solid amount of work, right? Maybe splitting carries. If I had to guess, he might be 50%. I think he's going to be back to normal. So really this 10 points, he's going to catch, I think, a couple of balls, probably 2 or 3, which is going to be just 3 basic points for some yards. There's going to be 50 yards rushing, I would say so. And I bet you the other 50% maybe split between the other guys they got there. David Montgomery obviously split carries with Jahmyr Gibbs. Javonte Williams, the starting running back. We already know he went ham bone last night. But right here is J.K. Dobbins, and he's going to be splitting carries with R.J. Harvey. But for some reason, J.K. is way down here and R.J. Harvey's up higher. I think this is a case of just the exciting rookie that everybody wants it to happen. But I don't think that's how it's going to go. I really honestly do not think that's how it's going to go. And I already mentioned the next guy that's going to be on this list for projections that I think are probably kind of off. Isaiah Pacheco, move him up. We already know Austin Eckler is going to be splitting carries 3 different ways, I believe anyways, with Chris Rodriguez and Krosky Merritt or Bill or whatever people want to call him nowadays. So he's going to be splitting stuff three ways. Pacheco, I don't think that's how it's going to go. I don't think that's how it's going to go at all here. I think the other running backs are going to get like 2 carries for this guy. Kareem Hunt's going to get like 5, and Pacheco's going to get like 14 carries and like 3 catches or something like that. That's how I think that's going to go. I think Pacheco needs to be bumped up in this particular list. But we will see tonight because this is a Friday night game. For the last and final one, we're talking about Caleb Johnson. Now, he's not even going to be splitting carries. I don't know that this guy is going to be even playing very much. He's technically started off being listed as the 3rd running back, and who knows in an Arthur Smith offense. But the main thing is stay away from players on any team that Arthur Smith is responsible for anything with the offense. So that's Caleb Johnson. I mean, Jaylen Warren's pretty much going to be the ball carrier there. And I don't know if he's going to get hardly any work. I heard he struggled all through training camp, practice stuff with pass protection. And that is a very incredibly important thing because you don't want your 75-year-old quarterback getting absolutely exploded and breaking everything in his body once again, like happened with the Jets first season. So we'll jump over to tight ends now. Not a ton, but we'll just look at some of the ones that I think are rated too low. So first, we're going to slide down to Brendan Strange, who is way down here. This is kind of shocking to me. I think Jacksonville was using tight ends in other years. Now he's gone. Now they got Brendan Strange. Everyone just thinks they're not going to use him. Everyone thinks Kyle Pitts up here is going to do better than Brendan Strange. What's ever told you that Kyle Pitts is going to do better than anybody else, to be perfectly honest? Kincaid, they already said he's not going to get any extra usage this year. That's already what they said. They got Dawson Knox there. I don't know how you could really have him up ahead. There is some question marks up here. I'm honestly up there. I'd probably have over Brendan Strange, but Chig, Schultz, Kyle Pitts, Hunter Henry, maybe. You'd slide him right up here and we'll slide Kincaid down, but really sliding Strange right up into this area with these guys right here is what I believe in. We don't have to go far to see the next one. Tyler Warren. This guy could be, can't call it for sure, the next Brock Bowers. They are using him all over the place. They don't really have a lot of other options. Everyone likes to think that Josh Downs is going to be the next big thing. What really makes you think he's going to be the next big thing? He tends to get nicked up, and he seems to be always kind of sort of hurt. He might be athletic and stuff, but the quarterback for Indianapolis, I can picture his face, but now I can't get his name. I can't pull his name from my brain. Daniel Jones. He always throws the ball short. He had something like the craziest, shortest ADOT of all time. So he's going to be the one that's starting there. And I mean, tight ends don't usually run 70 yards down the field deep. You know what I'm saying? They aren't just running cardio all day like the outside receivers usually do. So Josh Downs, I think, is going to be on the outside, just not catching a ton of passes. Alec Pierce on the other side, and Pittman is going to be in the slot from what I understand, if I remember the lineup correctly. So between Pittman and Tyler Warren, I think they're going to be catching those dump passes. So really, Tyler Warren, the rookie, they were talking about giving this guy handoffs and end arounds and things like that because he's super high draft pick, super athletic as for a tight end. So Tyler Warren, why is he under the same people here? Schultz, Pitts, Chig, Dalton Kincaid. He should definitely be at least up here near Kraft, Ferguson, Goddard, Evans, at least up there. So these are some guys that I think at the tight end position are too low. And then we'll take a look at kickers. What kickers are projected way off? I'm just kidding. We're not doing kickers and defense here. Let's get out of town. So, hey, let me know any projections that you are super off on and super disagree with. Don't forget like button and subscribe. But before you go, hopefully you crush your week 1 in fantasy.